Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Penny Mormon and I am here in Penticton, BC, Canada, and I am joined with Kat, and we are here to discuss her journey with Coach Kebie. And so to begin with, Kat, could you just introduce yourself and let us know where you are from and what you have been doing?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I am Catlin Mackison. I also go by #CrazyCat online, and I am from Taxahall, South Carolina. My grandfather was born here on the farm in 1931, and I moved home a year ago to be with my grandparents and to support them. They're 87 years old, and they're still independent, but from time to time, they need some adult supervision from me. And I have been working on my coaching program. Thanks to Coach Kebie, I've learned a lot.
And what kind of background do you have in as far as work and such?
Oh, sure. I have 22 years as an accountant. I got my CPA. I started with Deloitte & Touche in South Carolina and have moved through various consulting and internal roles. Lived in 8 states in 22 years, and most recently was the chief accounting officer and actually interim CFO for a quarter at a company out in California. But my last day will be January 2nd as I take off on the coaching and Zija journey.
Wow, that's great. So how did you meet Kebie?
I found her online back in May.
Mm-hmm.
I have been working on growing the Zija business for probably a little bit under a year. Being an accountant, that was my primary focus for a long time, and I learned about the network marketing industry, and I've been interested, but I had some fears that were holding me back. So I would start and get all excited and then fall off the wagon, and I didn't know why I was stuck. And I found Kebie online. I watched about 4 or 5 of her videos, fell in love with what she had to say, tracked her down, and signed up for class.
Well, that's wonderful. Wow. Okay, so she has several courses. So which ones have you taken of hers?
I started with Breakthrough. So usually she has people start in social media because it's a really nice starter course, and most people need, if you're going to do coaching or a business like Zija, you need to have an online presence. So it's a logical first step. And she explained that normally you start with social media. However, she agreed to take me in Breakthrough because I had already been through life coaching. And so I understood the seriousness of coaching. And when you sign up, you keep your commitments because a lot of it's on you as the participant. So I needed to agree to take the classes, listen to the videos, and come prepared, which I did agree to do. So, and Breakthrough was just about to start in 3 days. So she took me in and I was so excited. And so I took Breakthrough, then I took social media, then I took creating culture because I want to grow a team in Zija, and creating culture gives you the why people get stuck, helping your team deal with their fears, helping them understand why this business is difficult and how to keep going, and it gels your team because people don't leave companies, they leave people. So if you get a cohesive gelled team, and that's what I want to create. So I took creating culture. I went back to social media because if you're an accountant who's not had an online presence, it's a layering. You can learn one thing and you take that and you apply it, and you need some integration time, and then you go back and you layer on more and you layer on more. So after I did social media twice, I did the Nest, which is really intense. You know that. You've been through it too. Yeah. It's a lot. I still have 3 sections that I need to work on, 2 of which are yours, Pennies, actually, because I want to do them when I'm at my computer and I can actually do it real time because your videos are so good. So I've got those on my list to I'm going to have a Canva day, and I'm going to have the other one that you did. I forget. Anyway, but yeah, so I did Nest twice, and now I'm doing 4 agreements starting in January because I want to work on my internal self a little bit more. There's still some things that are left over from when I was younger that are going to hold me back unless I work through them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were coming up as we were traveling back and forth to on Christmas and stuff. So there's a few things there that I'm going to work on. I'm excited about it.
Okay.
Learning about yourself is so fun.
All right. So out of all of Kebie's courses, which one stands out to you? Which was the one that gave you the biggest impact?
I would say it was Breakthrough. As soon as I started that class, I knew I had some things that were holding me back and some questions. And it was really nice to be able to work through it. What makes her classes different is that we get together with group on a weekly basis, and you're seeing other people going through what you're going through, and we all start to share. And I made such good friends in that class. It was literally, remember when we went to Summit and it was like we knew each other?
Yeah.
It's amazing how online you can really develop this closeness with people that you've never met in person. Mm-hmm. And I did that, and like Nancy was there and Pam was there, and some of like what are my best Zija friends. It's just incredible. This whole group is because of Kebie. I realized that I had some fears that went back to when I was a kid and had to do with being made fun of and people talking about me. And I was allowing that to permeate my growth in Zija and my online presence, because I would walk up to the line and then I would kind of stop and freeze and I wouldn't just jump off. So the whole hashtag Crazy Cat came about, and it's crazy with a K because it's be fun, jump outside of your comfort zone. Because of Kebie and her coaching. And I just feel like that big chunk broke off because it started with Breakthrough, and then it's been an iterative process.
Okay, so now you have transitioned into her inner circle, which is the one-on-one coach to coach coaching. She's coaching you individually. And what made you decide to do that, to take her one-on-one coaching?
For a little while, I've wanted to move into training or helping people. I tried to do it in my corporate job, but I wasn't allowed to move into training. They hired someone else. And that was about 3 years ago. And then when I started talking to Coach Kebie, she was like, "You want to be a coach, don't you?" And I knew I did when I went through my what do we call it? Life coaching process. I was like, "Oh, I want to do this for other people." And it was cool that she could see it in myself too. And I knew it in my heart, but I hadn't actually verbalized it. And so it's just working through that process and realizing that having the one-on-one time will help me stay focused on my goals, get my program written. I'm a supporter and she's a controller. So she really helps with that part of me where I want to give everything away for free because I love the world. Well, I can give everything away for free and starve. Or she can like kind of push me where I'm not as strong and help me to see that giving things away for free is invalidating the other person as well as it's invalidating me, because I'm assuming that they can't help themselves and I'm taking away that value from them. So helping me see it that way helps me to be like, oh, well, I have to charge because duh. So it's that, and then putting me on a timeline to write my coaching program, because I can dabble and make it. I love PowerPoint, so I could make it pretty and be fiddling with it when really the small things don't matter. It's get it out, get started, because that's when you're going to scrape your knees, as she says. We're going to scrape our knees, we're baby coaches, and we're going to learn. Yeah. But if you don't get going, you're going to stay where you are. So that's why. Okay.
So now, what would you say as a coach? What are some of the biggest skills or attributes Kebie has that stands out for you?
She's extremely focused and organized and motivated, and she's clear. What's really neat is she has a way, she kind of has I always describe controllers as the general. So they're the general of the group and they're like, here's where we're going. But she does it in a non-general kind of way. It's like she has a way of saying this is the way we're going, but we all want to go with her. Yeah. That is just really cool. And it's like herding cats. I always say when you're pulling together a group, but she'll have 6, 8, 10 people online, all with their own views, all wanting to be heard. And she'll have everybody leave we'll leave on time, feeling like we all got to say what we had to say and feeling gelled with a team. And it's regardless of personalities, backgrounds, or whatever, it's really cool. And that's what I love to watch with her. Because if people start rambling, I'll go, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to do now? And just learning that skill set from her will really help me, if that makes sense. Because I can be a rambler. And when someone else starts, I go, oh my gosh, what now?
Yeah. Okay. So now your coaching with her is online because you guys don't live in the same place. However, with her inner circle or her coach to coach training, you do have an opportunity to go and see her face to face and get some one-on-one time with her at her place. And that's something that she offers up her inner circle clients. And you recently did that. So what was the biggest impact of that, of seeing her face to face and spending some one-on-one time with her actually at her place?
It was helpful for me to see the way she runs everything, her life included, and also online, because I've been impressed with how she runs her meetings online, but her whole life is that way with her kids and everything. And they're really tight. Her whole family, they love each other. And when they sit down to eat, they eat. And she'll be in the middle of running a presentation, and it's like she never stepped out of the room. And then she'll be downstairs having, in the kitchen, making her soup for the next day. She's just very efficient, but also being able to see some of I've struggled with organization in this new business. I knew how to do it in accounting. I've been doing it for 22 years, but here I'm like, okay, how do I video myself, get it from there to here to there to there, and then to be able to go back to this great content later and not constantly be in recreation mode as I have been. Mm-hmm. And so just being able to see how quickly and efficiently she did that and how she saved it really helped me too. Because then I'm a visual person. So being able to see it, I'm like, okay, now I can do this. And I've come home and started it on my new iMac, and I'm really happy. So that was really cool. It was just neat to see. What you see on screen is exactly the way it is everywhere in her entire house. And it's just awesome. If that's what you're aiming for, is organization and efficiency. Go, because it's so cool to see. You'll get a lot done. We were busy. Holy Toledo, from the time I got up till the time I went to bed, it was like, all right, Kat, come on up. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. I was like, wow, okay. So it's neat. I loved it.
Well, that's great. Oh, I'm glad that you had that time with her. Well, I think that is it. That's all the questions I have for you, Kat. Thank you so much for joining with me today and your time and sharing about your journey with Coach Kebie.
Cool.